What's up, baking ballers? Today we have a couple of topics to bake to you today. First, on the chopping block, all of the things I wrote down to talk about for this week are completely unintelligible.
Uh,
So that's awesome.
why did you write them that way?
Well, I don't know. It's crazy how the human brain works. It's crazy to think about, like, at one point this week, I wrote down this piece of text that made perfect sense to me. And now I'm still the same person. Nothing significant has happened to me, but I just don't understand what it means. Like, I just have One Piece question mark.
Yeah, no, what does that mean? That,
Well, I don't
was that
know.
just you talking about One Piece?
Well, I wasn't going to talk about One Piece actually. I think. See, the problem is I acknowledge, like, I have realized early in my life that my memory is not good and I can never rely on myself for anything. Dude, my favorite app in the universe is the Reminders app. Like, I need that. If I were born in the medieval era, I would be useless. I would have been burned at the stake for forgetting everything in my entire life. And I still forget. Sometimes I forget to look at the reminders on my phone.
You've never
It's
forgotten
bad.
anything.
Yeah, you're
No.
your
We're
number
not
one
doing this. We
memory
talk
here.
about gaslighting
You're
last
right.
podcast.
We did talk about gaslighting.
We cannot redo topics. One thing I do want to start with is so you know how people think it was hard to build the pyramids, like in Egypt?
Yeah,
I think that's stupid.
I agree.
Like, what about that do they think it is hard? Like, I get it was hard work, but like figuring out how to do it is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's
moving
like,
aside the morality of their methods.
that's true. In
Like,
fact,
it's a lot of rocks.
ignoring
You
the
just stack them
morality
on top
makes
of
it
each
even
other.
easier.
Yeah.
Like, I get that they were heavy, but you just have a lot of guys to lift them up. I'm glad we could all be in agreement on that.
Yeah, they're like, how did we do that? But then you go and look in California, like, or I think it's California. You look and you're like, oh, the Bass Pro Pyramid. You're like,
exactly.
No. The Bass Pro Shop Pyramid. Let me look it up real quick. I think it's not in California.
It's not.
No, it's like, I think it's in Tennessee.
Oh.
Okay.
It's somewhere up north.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're the only 10 I see.
All right, here's the next thing I want to talk about. There's so many just nothing states, you know? Like there's so many states that just there's nothing in them. You never hear about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just nothing about them. Like there's a couple states that are like, oh, people all over the country know about those states. But just like South Virginia.
That's not a state.
Wait, what?
That's not a state.
That's not a state.
There's Virginia and then West Virginia.
Yeah, there's Virginia.
West Virginia. I mean, all right. Who wants to take the next topic?
I mean, you had a pretty good topic.
No, let's move on. Let's move on.
You just kind of borked it out of the water by
saying
South Virginia.
All right. Let's just go with me saying West Virginia. Like, what is in West Virginia? What is in that state?
Hold on.
Mountains.
Country roads.
Yeah.
Take me home.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say 90% of the Louisiana Purchase is just kind of a mistake. Like, if we own just like the most bordering states, like just the whole border of America and maybe like a couple in the middle, I'd say the country would be exactly the same. Like, you wouldn't even notice a difference.
I don't know about that one.
Name one important state that's like in the middle of the country.
In the middle of the country?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to look at the first. I'm going to double check you.
Missouri. What about it?
It's in the middle of the country. It's on the Missouri River.
All right. Well, when I said name a state in the middle of the country, it was like,
no, he's kind of right.
Name a state in the middle of the country that's like important.
I'm looking
like,
at this.
You got the map up.
Colorado is the only good one.
I was going to say
that is a good one. That is a good one. That's why I said almost all.
Part of Texas.
In the middle we didn't need.
That's about it. Like, oh, and I guess Louisiana. I'm a fan of those states. Otherwise, like,
yeah.
You guys remember Iowa? No, because they don't do anything.
I'm a big.
So many times I hear a state a state name, and I just like, oh, I forgot that was even a state.
Yeah, you're like, is this a Ligma joke? Like Montana? Like, what did they do? Hannah Montana? That's it.
Iowa balls.
Iowa, a large sum of money to the U.S. government.
Bro.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a topic on the show.
Wyoming? What does Wyoming do? South Dakota, North Dakota? There's like 3 people like their total.
Yeah. And like all the Ohio jokes are super overused, but like it's because that is like the most nothing state.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like,
Scott the
Like,
Woz
there
is
is
there.
nothing in Ohio.
Also, that's not
other
part
than
of the
Scott the
Louisiana
Woz.
Purchase.
Oh. Well, that was just a part of the overall argument I was making, you know.
Oh, okay.
yeah, a lot of like the middle western states, just you don't hear anything about it because it's so much
We don't
just
need 'em.
empty land.
Like Mordor.
That's the one thing, one of the few things Europe does pretty well. They're not just big for the sake of being big, those countries over there. Like
Yeah.
Ireland is peak country. You know, all of that space is used. Even if some of it is like farmland, it's good farmland because it's in Ireland.
I
I'm a
mean,
big fan of
I mean,
Ireland.
they are stuck on an island, so like they have to make use.
Well,
of
they're
every
not
single way
stuck
they can.
there. Modern technology has allowed them to leave the island,
Yeah.
but they choose not to.
Their
Because of how good it is.
infrastructure
Choose to
is
leave.
their infrastructure is stuck on the island.
Also, no.
is what they say.
The Irish are the people who have gone to places the most. There are Irish everywhere,
Yeah.
all over the world. There's the whole joke about the Irish
No,
being everywhere.
no.
What, Jacob? We can't say fuck? I said fuck last episode.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm trying to be clean. Although I probably said it a lot last episode. Last episode was a blur to me.
If only there's
I
like...
say episode 2, we start fresh.
So when we do episode 2, we'll start fresh?
Well, isn't this episode 2?
Oh, it is.
It's
Yeah.
already got a brown mark.
Anyways, Ireland is awesome.
The crust is a bit burned.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, who's next?
Oh, Jacob, you said you didn't write down any topics, Jacob?
Yeah, I forgot to write down any topics.
Liam, I remember last time you ended by talking, or I think afterwards, we were talking about Breath of the Wild 2, and you said you were very hyped for that. Like, what are your expectations there?
My expectations is they showed a car, and if you can make a car and like build on top of it and make some sort of machination, that's my expectation for the game.
I missed the direct. There's a car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're adding cars. It was a vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
a contraption.
An apparatus.
Mm-hmm.
Bro. Anyways, that we've heard nothing about that game.
I know.
Like by this time by Breath of the Wild, they had like released every line of code for that game. Like we knew so much, but like Breath of the Wild 2, we're in the dark. They've released the same trailer twice, just like a couple different shots.
I mean, how many trailers did they release for the first game? First Breath of the Wild.
Pretty sure it was a lot.
Yeah, but
Like
so
at least 2.
that game was also like spread out. Like that was announced, I think, early into the Wii U's lifespan, or like teased early in the Wii U's lifespan. Like we kept going, when's the Wii U Zelda game? When's the Wii U Zelda game? All 9 of us with a Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the very end when the Switch happened, and it was really a Switch game.
Yeah, I never had a Wii U. I had a Wii that lived on for several years past the Wii U's lifespan, but then died while playing Donkey Kong Country Returns.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I was like near the end of the game, and then my Wii U killed itself.
Ooh.
Well, you better go catch it.
Okay, no, on that. So, Jacob, when you were out earlier today, I was feeling a little mischievous. So I was gonna call you and say, "Hey, Jacob, is your refrigerator running?" And then, ignoring your answer, then I'd say, "Well, you better go catch it." And they go, "Oh shit, it's here!" And then like just turn the phone off.
I would really good bit. See, great minds think alike.
You're just gonna call me while I was possibly in the middle of bowling?
No, I knew you weren't bowling. because you hadn't gone to bowling yet. That was when you were in traffic. But then I'm like, I shouldn't do that while he's driving. Also, I think I was eating.
You know those bowling animations?
Oh, traffic. We can talk about bowling later. I'll have my sect on bowling.
All right.
Fucking the traffic today. It's like it was one minor spot, but I got stuck at a light for an entire additional like round.
Oh.
It was red, and then there are two people in the fucking middle of the lane because of traffic as the light turned green. So nobody got to move forward. And I basically sat there for like a whole 10 minutes as the whole lane went on without me.
Traffic is proof that society has failed. Is my opinion.
Huh?
I have one light here that's a little nefarious. It just takes a while.
Jacob, that's my everyday whenever I drive here.
Makes sense.
I do have a solution to traffic, though.
Really?
So, I don't know if you guys have seen the latest Mark Rober video. He made a video on this cool invention they're using in various countries to deliver medical supplies. It's these automated drones that they slingshot into the air, and like they just fly over packages and just parachute them without even stopping onto the hospital. So I was thinking we should just do that with people. Instead of cars and roads taking up everywhere, if we were to just slingshot a person to their destination, imagine how much faster that would be too. Like if you were attached to a little drone, put in a slingshot, immediately propelled into 30 miles an hour within a fourth of a second, and you were gliding all the way there. Not only would it be faster, you wouldn't be dealing with traffic, and you get a cool view of the surroundings.
With a parachute, right?
Yeah. The parachute would also be on you.
So you know how multiple people would be doing this? And there's no way to like measure trajectories of people in the middle of like flying.
Ooh, okay. I see where you're going with this. But like, well, let's think about this. Imagine how many planes there are. How do those planes not collide?
Because
by calculating their trajectory in the middle of their flight. They have all this technology that allows them to do these things. People it's just a couple more than planes.
A couple? That's more than a couple. That's like a triple at least.
Triple.
So are you planning on weighing down the soon-to-be passengers with several tons of computer equipment so they can?
No, you misunderstand. The drone is on top of them. They're attached to the drone that is gliding after being slingshot into the air. You should really watch the video.
This sounds like a roundabout way to have a plane.
Well, the problem with the plane is it takes a while to get to the plane. It costs a lot. Tickets are expensive.
This just sounds like a
with
small
this
plane.
method. It's no. All right. You guys aren't envisioning.
Look, I don't like
vision.
the idea of having a small drone attached to my head.
Well, it'd be back for more support. You're back.
Okay.
Go on. Sorry, I just had to correct you on that point. and for if there's too many people, there's multiple
what if you live in a city
that you can send them in?
Well, they'd be Z values here, actually.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they
Z
would.
value
no,
because
it's three dimensions. Yes, it is.
Is it? Okay. Well, the Z value, there are multiple Z values, and like a person from like they're only like a foot tall when they're put on their front, you know? So, and how many feet tall is the atmosphere? A lot. Like at least
with
100.
The force it takes to launch somebody,
that's at least 100 feet of altitude to work with and fit all those people on drones.
So, have you ever heard of big cities?
Yes. Well, they wouldn't get to use this method.
Mm-hmm. Or anywhere with like actual long distance transportation.
Well, this is better than that. So they'd switch.
How expensive would you say this would be?
Asking the expert, obviously.
Well, I'm no engineer. I'm more of a visionary,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone else would do the math on this. You know,
I'm
I
doing the
do the
math right
important stuff.
now. It's not checking out.
I think you're just going into this with a skeptical mind already on. If you were to go into this with an open mind, you'd see what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really telling about how negative the human brain can be.
Do you know the carrying capacity of the drones?
A person's weight is what it would
So,
All right then.
um,
That is a wide range of weights they could potentially be.
so
What happens
well,
when the drone can't support someone's weight?
well, they'd get a bigger drone then.
what about people with disabilities?
Well, the drone does the moving for them.
No, like that. So I am in a wheelchair. How do I? The drone doesn't work.
Well, you'd have to leave the wheelchair behind, but
Mhm.
you could still be attached to the drone.
So
Then how do I move forward when I hit the ground?
Well, I guess you could just get a bigger drone to support the wheelchair too,
that
and you just hold on to it.
How big is this drone going to be?
Well, it can scale. You can build drones of multiple sizes. You can build like a baby drone for carrying and dropping babies.
no. So you're not supposed to like have a baby's head not supported well. You definitely
Okay.
can't launch them in the air. This
Okay,
is the
well,
baby catapult again.
We can simply have the person the baby is traveling with hold the baby, and
But
just tell them
the
to not drop it.
velocity is bad for them.
That. No.
What about
I
air
understand the
resistance? What
question.
about windy days?
None of this checks out.
Oh, okay. Well,
What
for
about
the windy
stormy
days?
days?
Yeah, are you going to do this launching
Okay, well,
service
for the
into the middle of a
storms,
cyclone?
the drones can come equipped with an umbrella to shield them from the wind. I mean, the
That's
rain.
not.
No. If you give them an umbrella, their trajectory will be pulled off by the umbrella.
Okay, well, the
catching
drone itself,
wind.
while gliding, it also has little propellers that it can fly with too, so it would just counteract the force.
It's not
Oh,
that
you know,
easy.
a better
It's
idea. A
not
better
that
idea is,
easy.
I don't know if you guys have seen this YouTube video, but there was a guy that made a leaf blower umbrella where it
I have seen that, yes.
threw wind upwards to counteract the rain. So this would just do that.
It wasn't very effective, and that wouldn't work in like bad rain.
Okay, but we'd make it work. We'd run the numbers.
60-mile-per-hour winds. That your drone is going to get shoot off course.
Or just even 20 miles.
The drone would simply counteract the force.
Okay.
We'd make it aerodynamic so the wind wouldn't affect
there
it.
becomes a feasible limit of how big and how powerful you can make a drone before it's larger than the person you're carrying.
Well, what'd be bad about that? These are strong slingshots. You should watch the video. They're pretty big slingshots. Like it's not just two sticks.
Well, why do you need the drones? Just slingshot people.
Well, what if it's a really long distance that a slingshot can't handle?
Will you slingshot them to another slingshot? It's like bus stops.
A great wire bug.
Oh.
Yeah, this is so much cheaper. More carbon, less carbon emissions.
Okay, but the drones are cooler, and I've decided now that they wouldn't produce carbon emissions.
If that were the case, you would literally be given a Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, they'd be attached with a solar panel instead of gas.
So
it's that easy.
So
rainy days.
Not only does like the problem of rainy days happen, but
okay. Well, you get the rain.
The comparative.
You fly it above the clouds.
That's I'm not even going to justify that with the response.
Yeah, because you have no counter argument. I don't know why you guys are hating on this good idea. I come in here with like here's how we can solve this problem, and you guys are all like,
no, look,
Jacob.
Look. The comparable energy output between solar energy and that of like coal or like fossil fuels is like immense. And two, you would have to put extremely large solar panels on this drone that just keeps on getting larger as this argument goes on.
Okay, but the slingshot is doing most of the work, so it's not actually exerting that much force or using that much electricity. Well, you know, the most amount of energy to be used would be the starting point where it's having to get to the speed.
All this talk also just increases the whole cost of this idea, which makes it harder to like mass produce and spread out.
Also, that's not necessarily true. Depending on the distance, the work done by moving it like horizontally would do more. And there's also still constantly staying above, not falling or going higher.
And lastly, I'm pretty sure because I remember this.
What? See, he's speechless.
No,
because you guys are just making up arguments.
A quick bit of research. It is not that good to quickly change altitudes quickly.
That is
because
correct.
What does that even mean?
So the higher when the on Earth, when you get higher up, there's a less percentage of oxygen in the air. So whenever you get slingshot up past the clouds, which are normally 6,000 to 10,000 feet high, you're going immediately up into an area with less O2 that can be supplied to your system.
Well, you shouldn't be doing that.
Which you shouldn't be doing.
Okay, if that was really a problem, then how do people climb Everest?
People a bout of altitude sickness. People climb Mount Everest slowly.
Wait.
We'd speed it up.
Wait a minute, Liam. You were saying that you would take people 10,000 feet in the air,
if needs be.
You're just talking about planes. Jacob, what's your most anticipated game of the year? No, we're done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this.
We'll put a pin in it.
We're done with this.
What games have even come out this year?
Do you have any that you're anticipating, or are you just... That was 10 minutes.
You know, okay. You know what? I know what I'm anticipating. It may not be a game, but that Elden Ring DLC.
That's so true, actually. I forgot about that. They released that in a tweet. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, they really did release it in a tweet, huh?
Yeah. I've been wanting to play more Elden Ring, but I don't exactly have time.
Yeah. I like it's so funny. It's just a tweet, so it doesn't really tell you what anything's going to be in it. So it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at I assume it looks like it might just be. It looks like it's post like the main game.
Yeah, I saw a whole video in analyzing this, but it's not really enough to like tell.
There's not enough information to.
All we know, it's story, and that's based as fuck, and that's all I need.
Yeah. Oh wait, it might be a prequel.
It's potentially both, from what I have heard.
That'd be really cool.
That would be. Liam, what's your most anticipated game?
I don't think you'd actually have to put people that high, though.
No,
like, that's just an extreme.
I will mute you.
What is your anticipated game?
Okay. I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2 as long as you can build that car. I'm a bit of a car guy.
Oh, so you like the movie Cars? Oh, you like Cars the game?
Yes, Cars the movie, the game.
So you like what is it? Lego Cars? Is that it?
Yeah. I'm also looking forward to Mario Odyssey 2. Though whether or not that is actually a thing is up for debate. But in my hopes, that will happen.
Friend of the show, 04 Dude 3 likely wants that as well.
Oh, wait, you watched that speedrunner too?
Yeah, that's
he's my favorite.
Friend of the show. I'm
should hook me
excited.
up with him sometime.
No, I'm excited for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC. I can't stop thinking about it.
That's true.
God.
I gotta play all those games again.
That's coming out.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the DLC.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait. You guys have any good games you're playing right now?
Ooh. No.
So all the games you play suck?
I got into
Yes.
I got into a new roguelike recently.
Ooh, what's it called?
Brutal Orchestra.
Brutal
Came out, like,
Orchestra.
it's a neat turn-based one with a lot of unique mechanics, and it's based in Purgatory, so it has a cool aesthetic going to it.
That's where I'm gonna end up.
Came out like 2 years, 3 months ago.
Okay. Oh yeah, this looks interesting.
Yeah, I've been having some fun with it.
That's good. I know you're a big roguelike head. Liam,
Guys,
yeah.
I have a bit of an odd question, but
Okay.
before you make assumptions, just hear me out. Is it weird to stare at people's chest, regardless of gender?
I mean, it's weird to stare at anybody anywhere, basically.
Okay, so you know how T-shirts have like a bunch. Sometimes they say different stuff right on the chest area. That's an awkward place to like look at, because like I look at this person's shirt, right, and it's like, wait, that I want to read it, but I also don't want to just stare at that person. I think the whole idea of like T-shirts and like putting words on them was actually a bit made by someone who was like, I just want to put a bit of tension into the world, because like you see, like maybe you see someone with a T-shirt that has a funny frog on it and has like a caption on it. So you start to look at it to read it, and it's like, oh, that's a lot of words. I don't want to like be staring directly at this person's chest just to read their shirt. But also, they wore that shirt with the intention to wear it out. Do they want people to look at the shirt, or would they think it's weird to have some random stranger just look at them? It's a bit of a dilemma.
It's probably fine as long as you're not like staring weirdly and long.
Like it should only take you like 5 seconds to read what's ever on their shirt. Unless it's like a heavily
some have paragraphs. I've seen paragraphs,
and then
I never read all of it because it'd be weird to stare that long.
Well, like
so it's like some sick joke. Those T-shirts.
Well, those people that
you can't
wear those
read
T-shirts will probably be like, oh, they're probably reading what's on my shirt because they know they're wearing that one today. Unless they're just completely unaware of what they're wearing,
or they just won't like care.
I
think you're overthinking it.
I don't know. I mean, I forget what shirt I'm wearing all the time.
Well, then you're not intentional.
Like if I were to wear a shirt with text, then I go about my day, and I saw someone staring at me, I'd be creeped out. You know, I'd be like, "Hey, man, what the hell?"
Well,
and then it'd be like, "Oh,
staring
you're
at
looking
you
at my shirt."
I mean, does this happen to you? Are you ever like, man, that person's staring at me?
No.
Yeah.
I just thought about it.
I think you're overthinking.
I think that if you are to like put text on yourself for people to read, you should like have a sign that just like is above your head, so you don't look at the person, but you look above them. You know,
that would just be impractical.
But then, like, what if it's one of those shirts like my eyes are up here? Like that doesn't make any sense now.
Exactly. That's even more of a sick joke.
Well, no, that's like that's like a haha got you. That is a joke. You got joked on.
It's like you got something on your shirt, and then you flick your finger up their face.
That's so true. Or hey, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. It's like the oldest trick in the book. I wrote the book, by the way.
Hate that book.
It's a good book.
Okay.
You don't like it because of page 39.
So
It was on page 39.
It's the How to Catch a Liam.
You don't know that.
I wrote the book.
No, you don't know how to do that.
Oh, really? Well, you're here right now.
What's the next topic?
Do you have any more? Because I've got 2 more.
Let's see. So how about AI replacing all of us? We didn't talk about that last
We
podcast,
didn't, and
did
this
we?
is vaguely on one of mine.
All
I
right.
mean, I don't like AI for the most part, like especially AI art. That's like
AI art is
not cool.
it has it's a mixed bag. That's
Well,
most.
how come? Why do you think that?
So like obviously it's a mixed bag of opinions because you got those people who really like using it, and then you have like the people who are like mad with using like have like a neutral like it's just going to happen, and then you have the people who really don't like it because of the way it steals essentially other people's styles in the use of its algorithm. Because this may be a bit expository, but I did write an essay on this for a class. But essentially, they work by taking a bunch of images from a database that correlate to the keyword phrase that you enter into the algorithm, and basically learn how to draw something using those images. And then whenever those images are comprised of, stuff found off the internet, it copies other people's drawings or styles as it creates what image you want from it. Like a lot of some of the like whole advertising for some of those sites is draw it in this get your image in this specific style, or lay out in like design wise.
Yeah, that's
my major. Here you go. Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. My major problems along with that is the fact that it even can do what it can do in the first place. Because like at first it was just taking over like menial labor jobs. It was like, oh yeah, it sucks that those jobs aren't for people anymore. But now it's doing stuff that we were like, oh, robots can never do the stuff that makes us human. It can't write. It can't make art. And it's doing exactly that. That's what I don't like the most.
Yeah, that's
like just fundamentally. That's the human stuff, and it's doing the human stuff now.
Yeah, that's another problem because it's also potentially putting commission artists and like people on like free market artists out of a job, because why pay someone when you like $40 for like a single drawing when you can pay like a subscription to this website and get like how many as you want, even more accurate than like what someone could draw for you.
Yeah, I don't think they tax the more accurate mark.
It may not be more accurate, but it's not. It's like it's way more cost and time efficient because it takes like 10 to 20 minutes for the more detailed works to come out of these generators.
Yeah, I do think there's still hope. It can't really make anything too new. Like if you go on Chat GPT or wait, I got it right that time.
That was right that time. Yeah, nice.
And then you say like make me an essay. It'll write something that's never been written before, but it'll also be the most just like boring essay ever. Like it'll be like any other essay, and that's exactly what it's supposed to be because it just pulls from things it's already made, makes something out of that, which humans also do. But I think we can also do more than that from time to time. Like we can make up new stuff, and robots can't really do that yet.
Well, even then, like that's like simplifying art. Like when I am looking at an image, it's not just like, oh, I'm making this image to be made. Like there is always intent behind the artist and like little details that the art may have in there, but it doesn't connect and it's like not thematic. Like when you're looking at Renaissance art and like analyzing it, like is the AI like knowing to put like Judas here and like a bunch of biblical symbols, or is it putting them there nonsensically unless asked? That's like
Like I feel like I can notice it. Like AI art has a different look to it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like with like regular art. You can tell that stuff is like detailed and put there on purpose. Like small details in the background, or like the way they position things. But with AR art, what it looks like whenever you get like not only like does it seem like all the edges are like smoothed out and like they don't just kind of blend into the background, but like there's just like not a lot of detail like in between like the main subjects of the piece. It's just a lot of empty space sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are actually good points. I didn't think about like the intent behind making art.
Because
Completely forgot
that's
about that. But
what
that's a
makes
really good
art
point,
important.
actually.
Like when you're reading something and you think something's art, you don't just read it for nonsense. What AI art makes, it's just words. But like when an author makes something, like when you're in an English class and they're having you analyze poetry, there is intent and meaning behind what the author is saying, like hidden under those words. It's more than just the words. Same with music. There's a story behind the song, and like AI art can make something that sounds good, but I don't just listen to music because it sounds good. I listen for the lyrics and like the struggle behind the artist and the story they're telling.
There's a lot of personal details that come into the piece and like into the creation of the art itself. Like a lot of like you don't get any of the feeling out of AI art like you do with like knowing the story behind any like Vincent van Gogh's paintings.
That's a really good point. A lot of the songs I've listened to like really sell like a certain feeling or emotion behind like a show or movie I'm watching, which is nice. And I don't think a robot can do that either.
Yeah. Or to do so, they need to mimic it, but even then, like that's a very different. You're asking something different. That there is like a spot there, but that's not exactly what art itself is like completely. Like from what we have right now, AI art isn't really making art, it's making the medium that the art is expressed in without adding like the meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, how long do you think it is until AI gets to that
No clue.
point?
I'm not an expert in this field.
Yeah, no. There's no real way to tell when AI will become so perfect at mimicking humanity. Although I feel like at some point there's always going to be like a small little thing that it can't copy. There might be.
Yeah, I think if AI is ever able to like become human, we first have to understand how our own brain works to like even make an AI that think and feel like us, and we don't even fully understand human brains yet. Which is good.
So it's tangentially to AI, or what's everybody's opinion on AI gaslighting and just false information?
I think it's hilarious, but probably bad for society overall.
Yeah, like the thing that happened with Bing, like a month or two ago.
You want to go into that a bit more?
Here, Jacob, what were you saying first?
No, I'm just saying. I just also think it's funny because like I recently watched a video where some guy successfully changed the AI chatbot's programming to 2+2=5 in all ways of saying it.
It's exactly that stuff. So, like ignoring that, like a lot of people are using Chat GPT to like study as like supplementary, but the problem is the material they've trained Chat GPT on is not 100% correct. So like a friend of mine was studying for a biochem exam, but they don't have a textbook, so they were asking Chat GPT, and I warned them, oh, by the way, it can give you false information because that is what it was taught, and you like it will just not listen to you sometimes if you tell it the right information, or it will listen and then suddenly stop and make a conclusion without that. So like similarly, Bing added AI to their search engine about a month or two ago, and so it was trained up until about like like late 2022. So somebody was asking about when the Avatar 2 showtimes were, and Bing was telling them that Avatar 2 was not out despite it being out for about a month. And no matter what they said, they even asked what's the date and then asked when the show comes out, and it showed that the date is after that. But Bing would not budge and began to mimic being aggravated with the user that kept asking, and it was so confused. At one point, it made a bulleted list about asking them to be a better user and telling them what they could do to be a better user. And my favorite one was admit you were wrong and apologize.
Wait, like this is the search engine, not like
Yes.
a G. Oh my.
Yes, so there's a select group of people, like they rolled out like testing for their search engine using AI, as it would be like a little assistant, kind of like Siri except helpful. But it wasn't really helpful.
That's good. AI is more human than we think, actually.
Yeah, because whatever they trained it on, it was trained to mimic human behavior. So it feels like they trained it on like 4chan rants or something, because that looked exactly like a rant.
I don't think it probably wasn't trained on any social media site, because it might have. Actually, we don't know much about the Bing search engine's personality, but there's a lot of bad things it could potentially pick up if it was just to let them gather all the information.
I'm pretty sure they did train it on some. They might have vetted the search results and stuff, like about how early AI trained on Twitter, it was just racist.
Yeah.
Like, that tells you a lot about Twitter. Thanks, Elon. Well, actually, it was before Elon, but my point still stands.
See, the problem is when the AI starts gaslighting in not an obvious way, and people believe it. No, that's already been happening.
Yeah, that's what the chat
spreads
GPT
complete
is.
misinformation.
And then when you're like, no, that's wrong, the AI goes, no, that's right, you're goofy. Or then it will just subtly shift back to telling you, yeah, it subtly shifts back to telling you wrong information and incorporating it.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually say anything to it to like make it change anything. It'll always just use data that it knows and not anything you say.
I think you can tell it to pretend that what you are saying is correct rather than what they are saying, but even then, it's not like good at completely keeping that.
Have you seen the videos where like chess people will try to play chess with ChatGPT?
I have not seen that.
It does not it is not able to like simulate a chess environment well. It like they play it and it does like really advanced chess moves at the start, like it clearly knows what it's doing, but then it says suddenly it's like, I checkmate you with my queen that they took 5 turns ago. And it'll start just lying to people, like, no, you are in checkmate, and it'll refuse to believe anything else, even after the person states the exact situation the game is in.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that's because like openings are really well documented in chess, but then after that, it doesn't have anything to go on.
And yeah, it's running purely on known information. So when it gets into unknown territory, it doesn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Or my knight goes from the bottom left of the map directly to your king at the top right.
Knight from B4 to Z11.
Yeah.
AI is funny in that regard.
Yeah. Maybe AI is just an entertainment tool for how good it is at gaslighting.
Personally, it's nice to know that there are people that can rival me. Well, not people, but
only a machine can rival you in gaslighting.
That's right. Well, yeah, I said that earlier, and everybody believes that.
Yeah, I remember when you said that.
Yep.
Anyways, I proved evolution is fake.
With your drones?
No, this is unrelated.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. So you know how evolution works, where it's like
you give
every now and then, like a being will be a little bit different, and that difference will either make it better at surviving or worse at surviving. And if it's like better, then it'll live more and it'll pass it on. So that applies to human taste. If you like lick a tree, it won't taste that good, and that's your tongue telling you this is not good for you. Or like you lick acid, your tongue will be like, this tastes gross, and is also dissolving me. You know?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if that logic were really true, like we agree that is how evolution works, right? All right, everyone agrees. So here's the thing:
I think that's
Why
an
does the good food
oversimplification.
for us
That is
taste
extreme
bad?
oversimplification.
Why does a green bean
That's not how that
that
works
is
for
good
everybody.
for us taste so
I like
gross?
green beans.
People have different.
Okay, most normal
opinions.
people, a green bean tastes bad, like all vegetables.
You can't. Nope, that's not true.
But evolution would state that since it is good for you, it should taste good.
First off, that doesn't matter anymore.
That's not how it works.
Junk food. No, you're not listening to my point. Let me finish.
That's not
junk
how
food.
It works.
You've already
is
jumped to
bad
assumptions.
for you.
That's not.
However, it tastes good.
This can't be every episode.
Explain that.
No, you are wrong. You are just wrong on so many levels.
Show me the science.
Well, first,
all right. So Liam, do you know about allergies?
Yeah.
So more people have allergies now because food is so plentiful for some countries that it doesn't matter. In like earlier time, because milk was a high source of protein, if you were lactose intolerant, you did not survive. But because that is no longer an issue and we don't have to drink milk for protein and we have a very varied diet, that the allergy is now able to spread because it is no longer an evolutionary like detriment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like name a food you like, Liam.
I like a Chipotle burrito.
And what's in that Chipotle burrito?
Oh yeah, let me choose a different food.
Yeah, something that is like a set.
I like chocolate. Chocolate's good. Milk chocolate. Dark chocolate
That's because sugar is addictive.
Exactly.
Hey,
but if
Liam,
we were evolutionary beings... What?
Are you going to say meth is evolutionarily optimal?
No. It's like, if we were evolutionary beings, our body would be like, don't eat a lot of sugar.
It does that when you get a stomach ache or when you start getting bloated. It's not like, oh, right now it tastes bad. Sugar is made to taste good. It's just something that tastes good.
The only time I've ever had a stomach ache was from disease or accidentally downing a Mentos after drinking Coke.
I think that's a different evolutionary issue with that one.
Evolution would have stopped me from doing that.
That's not true. Evolution doesn't stop idiocy. The Darwin Awards, like...
Yeah. Whoa, okay. We're friends here. Let's not lash out at each other.
No, I'm
just throwing my point out, and you guys recognize that it's wrong, but don't know what to do about it, so you're lashing out at me.
We literally told you food allergies exist.
Yeah, no, we literally gave you an example where that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now because, like, these things that we need that are optimal. One, actually, nutrition is something that changes constantly. Nutrition 10 years ago is very different from what it is now.
Yeah.
A lot of because the people controlling big food companies, they have been altering the information we're given and giving studies that have dubious outcomes.
Over like the last 10 years, like the information on food labels have changed drastically when it comes to like what's in it.
Currently,
go ahead. Additionally, you remember the food pyramid? That's no longer a thing.
Because it's not actually true.
Because it failed.
Yeah, it's not
true. Up with that pyramid, and I was lied to.
That seems like some type of scheme. But
a food scheme.
Yeah. So currently, there is a lawsuit from big cereal companies on the FDA because the FDA wants to change labeling requirements so they can't say cereals which contain 30 grams of sugar or more per serving, which most big cereals do. They can't say that they're healthy because they're not. But those sugar companies, they're putting out studies that are saying those cereal companies are putting out studies that are saying sugar is healthy, which it's not healthy.
Yep, that's a little nefarious on their part.
It's very nefarious. I don't like corporations.
True.
Anyways, today's sponsor. See, that's a little joke.
All right.
Good. That's good.
Thank you.
I like that joke.
What's our next topic?
So, Jacob, you're getting into bowling, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a tad bit of bowling.
I've seen you start dabbling.
Yeah, just doing a little bit of dabbling. Maybe 4 times in the last 2 weeks. It's just a bit much.
Yeah.
I bowled with all you guys that one day.
That's so true.
Wait, were you there, Liam?
Yeah, I don't think he was.
I was not. I'm a couple miles away from where you are right now.
No, it was during your spring break.
Oh, I don't think I was there.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he was not.
Anyways, I mean, I that day got me back into bowling because it got me into bowling because I was like, oh, this is like a fun sport I can do outside of work in college. That is like, I mean, it may be like slightly like there is a cost to it, but like I work, I have enough money to pay for it. So I was like, hey, I'll bowl with the people who are in town. I can, hang out with friends a bit more.
And 2 of our friends are big bowling heads.
Big bowlers, yeah. I mean, so far, I've done it 3 times. The first time I did The second time I did better than the last time because I completely changed my form. Because the first friend I went with gave me some. I mean, it wasn't bad advice, but when I went the next time, I was given better advice. So it just works. And then more recently, I now have my own bowling shoes, which is an investment. You don't have to pay for shoes every single time you go up there.
So true.
And I now have a bowling bag for my bowling shoes.
Oh shit! Are you gonna get a ball?
You're dripped out with bowling equipment.
Yeah, I actually just ordered a ball. I'm waiting for it. It's getting shipped. Well, it's not like yet, but the place I went to, the guy said we'll start shipping Monday from Nevada, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nevada's crazy. They have stuff.
It's gonna be a good bowling ball.
Not a filler cup. Not a filler stay at that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good starter ball that I'll be working with.
Let's go. Do you bowl with one hand or two?
So when I bowled with my first friend, I bowled with he told me to bowl with 2 hands. Now, the next time I bowled with 1 hand, and that's when I bowled a 143 as well as a 140 yesterday. So, in my personal opinion, bowling with 1 hand is like the Jedi, and bowling with 2 hands is like the Sith. I bowl with 1 hand.
Based, actually.
All right, thank you for clearing that up because I see everyone do a different thing.
I think it's cooler to bowl with 1 hand. I realized it now, like running forward with 2 hands, it kind of feels.
Agreed.
What happened? Uh-oh. What?
We have lost one of our baking hosts.
Jacob? That's unfortunate. Well, Liam.
What's up, Jackson?
This is crazy. I haven't had a one-on-one conversation with you since that time that we were waiting for Jacob to join the podcast last week.
That's true. I remember that. He took a long time to join the podcast.
He was playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I think those monsters are just misunderstood.
That is... actually, no, you're right. It's kind of just hunting in endangered species that are just sitting there. It's really unethical now that I think about it.
Yeah, there are worse games out there.
That one's like what? What's your least favorite game?
My least favorite game?
Yeah. Or a game you heavily hate, because saying least favorite's kind of hard
to... I can spend hours upon hours on that question.
Oh, is it Destiny?
Sorry, I'm back.
Yes.
My internet was unplugged by a guest in my house.
Oh, this okay. Liam, we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. We'll end off the subject on the...
Okay, to end this off, I just want everyone to know, in 20 years...
Did my bowling bit finish?
No, because you cut off... When did he cut off? You were talking about going down the row 2 hands, and you just dead silent. So we started talking about the next topic, but continue and we'll go back to our next topic.
Yeah, bowling with two. It feels weird. I mean, like I just like it feels like clunky sometimes. You throw it like you're holding a baby. That's how the first friend described it. But bowling with one hand is better because you can put a little flourish whenever you throw it as you spin it, and it just looks cooler.
Yeah, two-handed people are a bit of goofballs.
I hate people that have two hands.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
All anyways.
Right. So what we are talking about is games we heavily dislike. Liam, give us a cursory.
I hate Destiny.
I
hate it.
I also heavily dislike Destiny.
I've put about 2,000 hours into that game, and it's taken me that long to realize that that game is a scourge of my life. But you know, I got out. I got out of it. I saved myself. There's just so many things I hate about it. You know, I hate that it's awful.
Yeah.
I hate what it did to me. I hate the person I am now because of it.
You're not my girlfriend.
That's so that's such a heavy statement. I hate the person I am now because of it.
If it was not for Destiny, I would be a saint.
I don't believe that, but
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You muted before most.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jacob, what's a game you heavily dislike?
It's weird. I don't play games I don't dislike, so it's kind of weird to say. I mean, give it through my Steam library.
All right, you're looking through that. I was thinking about this question because I asked it and I realized there aren't many games that I really, really hate.
You're a lucky soul.
Because like I think about it, the games I have played, I like. Even the ones I put like 2,000 hours in. That's my Ark Survival Evolved. I like that game. It's not like, oh no, I don't like this game. It's I wish I was playing it right now type of thing, you know.
You say so.
I mean, right now my most disliked game is kind of, I would say it's Divinity Original Sin 2, but I kind of like it. The problem is it's so unguided. So like I think I have like 40 hours in my run and I'm in act 2 of 4 and I'm just at a point where I don't know where to go cuz I'm just getting my shit rocked. And I don't know how to like fix that.
Yeah.
And like I'd have to look up a guide, but I don't know like the guides I've looked at, I've already deviated so far off. It's kind of hard to think about that.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with guides. They should just make a guide for everything.
Like the world.
Yeah, if there could be a guide on how to make a lot of money easily
like
and quickly.
Yeah, like
quick and easy.
If I could get rich quick,
yeah,
that would
like
be
something like that.
Yeah, like they should make like a money pyramid of.
I've realized it. I'm not a big farming head when it comes to like simulation games. Like, I know Zane, our friend.
You can just say names. If we say like there are 90 million Zanes in the world.
Fair enough. He really likes Satisfactory, but there's part of me that's just like, I can't really get into this, you know?
Yeah.
I guess you could say Satisfactory is very satisfying.
And that's the end of our show. I think that's a good spot to end it, guys. So, you guys have...
I have one more thing to say.
Oh.
20 years, there will be drones and slingshots everywhere. Just you wait.
Jacob,
no, there won't.
You have anything to say to the audience?
Don't believe his lies.
You heard it here, folks. Don't believe Liam's lies, and make sure that you preheat the oven.